My name is Vanessa Price, and 3 months ago, my husband Marcus made me breakfast for the first time in our 12-year marriage. Pancakes, bacon, eggs, fresh squeezed orange juice, everything perfectly plated and waiting for me at the kitchen table. I was running late for a morning meeting, so I declined, grabbed a protein bar instead, and rushed out the door. 20 minutes later, my neighbor called 911 after finding Marcus unconscious on our kitchen floor. He'd eaten the breakfast meant for me. The paramedics said it was poisoning, arsenic in the orange juice, enough to kill. Marcus survived, but barely, and when the police investigated, they found something that made my blood run cold. The orange juice hadn't been poisoned by an intruder or a random attack. Marcus had poisoned it himself. He'd planned to frame my death as a tragic accident, collect my $750,000 life insurance policy, and run away with his mistress. But he got thirsty while waiting for me to eat. He drank the poisoned juice meant for me. My husband tried to murder me with breakfast and only survived because I was running late for work. My name is Vanessa Price. I'm 39 years old, and I work as a pharmaceutical sales director in Houston, Texas. I've been married to Marcus Price for 12 years. We met in our late 20s at a mutual friend's wedding, dated for 2 years, and got married in a small ceremony in Galveston. No kids. We'd always said we wanted to focus on our careers first, then maybe adopt later. Marcus works as a financial advisor, or at least that's what he told me. Our marriage was solid, or so I thought. We had our routines. I traveled frequently for work, sometimes gone 3 or 4 days a week for conferences and client meetings. Marcus worked from home mostly, managing client portfolios remotely. We had a nice house in the Heights, good income, regular date nights when I was in town. I thought we were happy, but looking back now, I realize I didn't really know my husband at all. I knew the version of him he showed me. I didn't know about the gambling addiction, the massive debts, and the girlfriend he'd been seeing for 18 months. That Tuesday morning started like any other. My alarm went off at 6 a.m. I showered, got dressed for work, and came downstairs expecting to grab my usual coffee and protein bar before heading to the office. Instead, I found Marcus in the kitchen, apron on, cooking. Marcus, who in 12 years of marriage had maybe made breakfast 5 times total. "Good morning, beautiful," he said, smiling wide. "I made your breakfast. Thought you could use a good meal before your big presentation today." I looked at the spread on the table. Pancakes stacked perfectly, crispy bacon, scrambled eggs, and a tall glass of fresh squeezed orange juice. It looked amazing. It also looked suspicious. "Marcus, this is sweet, but I don't have time. I've got that 8 a.m. meeting downtown, and traffic is going to be terrible." "Come on, you have to eat something. I woke up early just to make this for you." His smile faltered slightly. There was an edge in his voice. "I really can't. I'm already running behind." I grabbed a protein bar from the pantry and my travel coffee mug. "But thank you, honey. This was really thoughtful." I kissed his cheek and headed for the door. I was 20 minutes into my commute when my phone rang. Unknown number, Houston area code. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Is this Vanessa Price?" a woman's voice asked. "Yes, who is this?" "This is Linda Chen. I'm your neighbor from across the street. I just called 911. Your husband collapsed in your kitchen. Paramedics are on the way." My heart stopped. "What? What happened?" "I was bringing over mail that got delivered to my house by mistake. I knocked, the door was unlocked, and I found him on the floor. He's breathing but unconscious. The ambulance is almost here." I did an illegal U-turn and raced back home, my mind spinning. Heart attack? Stroke? Marcus was only 41 and relatively healthy. When I got home, the street was full of emergency vehicles. Paramedics were loading Marcus onto a stretcher. He was conscious now but looked terrible, pale, sweating, vomiting. "Ma'am, are you his wife?" a paramedic asked. "Yes. What happened?" "We're not sure yet, but his symptoms suggest poisoning. Did he eat or drink anything unusual this morning?" At the hospital, they pumped Marcus's stomach and ran blood tests. I sat in the ER waiting room, terrified and confused. Linda, my neighbor, stayed with me. "He made me breakfast this morning," I told her. "He never does that. I didn't eat it because I was running late." Linda looked at me strangely. Did he eat it? I assume so. It was sitting on the table when I left. A doctor came out 2 hours later. Mrs. Price, your husband has been poisoned with arsenic, a significant dose. We've started chelation therapy, but the next 24 hours are critical. Arsenic? How is that possible? We've notified the police. They'll want to speak with you. Is there any way someone could have accessed your home? Any enemies? Anyone who might want to harm your husband? No, I don't understand. That's when the police arrived. 2 detectives, Detective Rodriguez and Detective Kim. They asked to speak with me privately. Mrs. Price, we need to ask you some questions about this morning, Detective Rodriguez said. I told them everything. The unexpected breakfast, my refusal to eat it, leaving for work, the emergency call. And you're certain your husband was alone when you left? Yes, completely certain. Has your husband been depressed? Any suicidal ideation? No, not at all. Why would you ask that? Detective Kim spoke carefully. Mrs. Price, we've sent the food from your kitchen to the lab for testing, but based on your husband's symptoms and the timeline, it appears the arsenic was in the orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice that he prepared this morning. Yes, but someone must have put it there. Someone broke in, and there's no sign of forced entry. And according to your neighbor, she arrived minutes after you left. If an intruder poisoned the food, they had a very narrow window. The implication hung in the air. They thought Marcus had tried to kill himself, or worse, they thought I had poisoned him. Marcus regained consciousness that evening. I was allowed to see him briefly. He looked destroyed. Tubes everywhere, monitors beeping, his face gray. Vanessa, he whispered when he saw me. What happened, Marcus? The doctor said you were poisoned. He closed his eyes. For a long moment, he didn't speak. Then, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry for what? Did someone attack you? Did you drink something at work yesterday? The orange juice, he whispered. I got thirsty waiting for you. I drank some of the orange juice. I don't understand. Why does that matter? He looked at me then, and I saw something in his eyes I'd never seen before. Guilt. Deep, terrible guilt. It was meant for you. The machine started beeping faster as my heart rate spiked. What? The orange juice. I put arsenic in it. I was going to... He started crying. I was going to kill you, Vanessa. Insurance money. I owe people money. A lot of money. And there's someone else. I'm so sorry. I backed away from his hospital bed. A nurse rushed in, alerted by the monitors. Mrs. Price, I need you to step out. I left the room in shock, stood in the hallway, unable to process what Marcus had just said. Detective Rodriguez approached. Mrs. Price, your husband just requested to speak with us. Are you all right? I couldn't form words, just shook my head. They went into his room. 30 minutes later, they came out. Mrs. Price, your husband has confessed to attempted murder. He's admitted to poisoning the orange juice with intent to kill you and claim your life insurance. We'll be placing him under arrest as soon as he's medically stable. The detective's words felt distant, like I was underwater. He also mentioned a mistress and gambling debts. We'll need you to come to the station tomorrow to give a full statement. And Mrs. Price, Rodriguez paused. That protein bar you ate instead of breakfast, it saved your life. Over the next week, the full picture emerged. Marcus had a severe gambling problem I knew nothing about. Online poker, sports betting, trips to Louisiana casinos he'd claimed were work conferences. He'd lost over $300,000 in 2 years. He'd maxed out credit cards in his name, taken out loans, even borrowed from loan sharks. The financial advisor job? Still real, but he'd been embezzling from clients' accounts to cover his gambling losses. His firm was investigating. The mistress, a woman named Brooke he'd met at a casino, knew about the insurance plan. Text messages recovered from his phone showed they'd been planning it for months. Once Vanessa's gone, we can be together. The insurance will pay off everything and we can start fresh. They'd researched methods, settled on arsenic because it could mimic natural illness if the dose was right. Marcus had been buying small amounts online for weeks, building up a lethal dose. The breakfast was meant to be his goodbye. He'd planned to act devastated, play the grieving husband, collect the money, and disappear with Brooke within 6 months. People keep asking me, did you know something was wrong? Did you have a feeling? The truth is simpler and more mundane. I was running late. I had a presentation I'd been preparing for weeks. I was stressed about traffic. The protein bar and coffee were faster. There was no intuition, no premonition, just bad timing for Marcus. But maybe there was something underneath I didn't want to acknowledge. Looking back, Marcus had been different lately, more attentive, asking about my schedule constantly, making sure he knew when I'd be home, suggesting I update my life insurance beneficiary information just in case. Small things I'd brushed off as him being thoughtful. He'd also been nicer, complimenting me more, suggesting romantic dinners, talking about our future. I thought he was trying to reconnect after months of distance. Now I know he was easing his guilt, being kind to the woman he planned to murder. The breakfast was supposed to be his final gesture, a loving husband making his wife a meal before she died. Marcus pled guilty to attempted murder, insurance fraud, and embezzlement. He's serving 25 years. Brooke, his mistress, was charged as an accessory, she serving 15 years. I divorced Marcus immediately, quit my job because I couldn't focus, sold our house because I couldn't walk into that kitchen without seeing that breakfast spread meant to kill me. I'm 39 years old, starting completely over. I'm in therapy 3 times a week, dealing with PTSD from discovering the man I'd loved for 12 years had planned my murder so casually. But I'm alive. That's what matters. I'm alive because I was running late, because I grabbed a protein bar instead of sitting down, because I chose convenience over his supposedly thoughtful gesture. The police told me Marcus used the dosage would have killed me within hours. I would have made it to work, probably collapsed during my presentation. They would have called it sudden illness, natural causes. He would have gotten away with it. Sometimes I think about that morning, about how close I came, about parallel universes where I said yes to breakfast, where I sat down and drank that orange juice, where I thanked my husband for being thoughtful even as he poisoned me. I think about all the small decisions we make every day that seem meaningless but change everything. A protein bar saved my life. Being in a hurry saved my life. And now I tell my story to warn others. The most dangerous person in your life might be the one you trust most. Pay attention to changes in behavior. Question sudden kindness after distance. Trust your instincts even when you can't articulate why. And if something feels off, even about breakfast, listen to that feeling. My name is Vanessa Price. I'm a survivor, and I'm here because I said no to breakfast.